Welcome back to Time Freedom Daily. This is your daily dose of everything business, motivation, investing, crypto. And today we have our special interview, which is Friday, which we love. Chris, how you doing today, brother?
I'm great. I love our interviews. The several we've done so far, they're just so insightful. I mean, I love, of course, I love people that kind of think like we do, and it's a special
Absolutely.
person that can be an entrepreneur.
For sure, for sure. You know what we try to bring you guys every Friday is just another aspect, another point of view of somebody who has succeeded in some way, right? Success is not measured on the same levels. So, today we've got Jose Duarte. He's the owner and founder of Vista Verde Remodeling. And he's going to come on and just tell us the story about how he started, where he's come from, and just what makes the story special is the fact that, we all start somewhere. Some people get inheritances. Some people get loans from their family. Some people, but the story that makes me really, gives me the goosebumps are the ones where you start from nothing, right?
Yeah.
You build your own foundation, you build up from there, you provide for your family, you provide jobs for other people, and they feed their family with that. So, let's bring up Jose and let's hear about his story.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait because you're right. That is. Hey, Jose, how you doing?
Hey guys, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on.
Absolutely. So, let's run right into it, man. I just want to hear, give us a little background of kind of where you began. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're doing what you're doing.
Well, I started in the construction business, quite young. I went to high school here in South Florida. I'm originally from Peru. My mother's Peruvian, my father's Argentinian. Back when I was young, in the 80s, late 80s, Peru was it was a bad country, a lot of terrorism, a lot of guerrillas. So the place in Peru was very chaotic. We had to move, being that my father was from Argentina. We went to Argentina. We were there for quite a while. We were there for about 4 or 5 years. And then things didn't work out between my father and my mother. So we ended up moving to the States. Just my mom and myself. We actually came to this country with. I remember exactly. I came with a pair of shoes and 2 jeans. And that was
Wow.
that's what I came here with.
Right. And what age was that?
I was 11. Yeah, I was 11 and about to turn 12. So it was sixth grade.
Wow.
And like everything else, every beginning is hard, every beginning is tough. From there, went to school here to Cuesta Trace Middle, and went to high school, Plantation High School, and then eventually went to college. Now, I did my whole career, my whole college, graduated with business administration. But I've always liked construction. I always liked that feeling at the beginning. Obviously, getting your hands dirty and starting, from scratch, starting literally from the bottom. Even though at one point I had the option to work, for a bank at that time was Wachovia as a financial advisor, and I actually turned it down. I didn't like, in my opinion, I didn't like the being tied up to a place, being, in 9 to 5. At this time, parallel to what I'm trying to accomplish as well, my mother was actually trying to open a business for herself, which it was a restaurant. My whole family actually, it's in the culinary, field, and she actually opened a restaurant. So it was very tough trying to build your own business, always as well helping your mother out, making sure that she also succeeds, and you also succeed at the same time as well. Um, Now there was a lot of I will say opinions, from my mother, friends of mine's, and like the word says, a lot of people that thought what I was doing, going on my own, and not instead of taking that job, that financial advisor job at that time at Wachovia, that why I turned it down, and why I wanted to do what I do now, and mind you,
The safe way, right? They
exact
wanted you to take the safe way out.
correct, and for me, I just it quite didn't add up, I had more ambitious. I saw how hard, actually at this time, my mother was working to trying to get her business going, and she's already in her, late 40s. I'm young, I'm in my early 20s, and I said, if she can do it, how come, I can't? So,
Right.
that actually pushed me, a lot, and continue growing in
Sure.
this field.
That's like a great entrance point into the next question, Chris. I know you had a good question for him about that.
Yeah, I mean that's usually like I know John and especially for me, like I reached that point where I was employed and I just couldn't deal with it any longer. Was there a point in your life like where you said, the choice to become an entrepreneur was almost easy because you couldn't continue doing what you were doing?
I remember the day exactly. I was in an office, and with a tie, nice button down shirt, at this sitting down at this desk, computers in front of me, and I just said, you know what, this is not what I mean, this is not what I want to do. There is a saying that they say, do what you love and you will never work
Yeah.
a day in life. I mean, that was truly something that, that was a fact for me. I wasn't happy taking that easy route, like John stated, the safe way. I'm sorry, you know, and I just walked out and said, I'm gonna venture on my own. I got multiple calls, obviously. How come I left? Graduated from college. Eager to work. I mean, I was actually good at what I was doing, but I always liked construction. I always I always saw myself, one day, look, I did this. I left something behind, and the road was not easy. Many times I wanted to grab, pack my things. I got offered, director of construction for big companies and sort of things, and they were pretty tempting,
Right.
in the times when it was rough. We kind of started going our own back in the 2004, 2005, when the whole market, and that was a rough time.
I bet.
And right at that moment, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's time for me to do a business, and everybody thought it was crazy, but pushing.
That's often how it goes. I think we've all got
For
that
sure.
crazy talk.
Absolutely. So, Jose, tell me, give me an idea of what your morning routine is. I know you've got multiple jobs going on, probably all over the place. Break down your morning and what it takes to do what you're doing on a day to day.
Well, my morning usually starts pretty early. I'm up around 5:45. Obviously, my kids are up at 5:45. Now that we're remodeling the house, everything it's chaotic in the house. But I'm up at 5:45, 6:30, close to 7. I'm already out the door. A typical morning for me is I have multiple inspections, usually, and when we say inspections, there's building inspections. You got to have your framing, your foundation, your rough plumbing, rough electrical. Most of this inspections, I don't have to be there myself. For instance, being that we're fully licensed and bonded and insured, we have to most of these jobs we got to hire licensed subcontractors, such as licensed electricians, licensed mechanical, licensed plumber, and they're responsible for their own inspections for their own board. But I like to be there.
Mhm.
That's usually in the morning before 12. We want to call, since sometimes we have multiple inspections. We want to make sure and call the inspector, tell them, what time will you be at the job site, and then from there, stop at the job site, check on the guys, making sure that everything is going up to par. Meet with the clients, making sure that they're happy as long as we're happy. It's pretty tough to juggle and to have, where now we have about 18 jobs, big remodels, and that's actually uh, going back a little bit of scheduling and conflict, in the past, and we've learned that being able to delegate and counting on reliable people, definitely makes
Reliable
Absolutely.
people. Yep.
For
yeah,
sure, for sure. So
yes.
great. That's great. Yeah. Chris, what do you got?
What do you? I know it hasn't always been smooth sailing. It never is.
No.
Think about your biggest failure, whether it's in your current business or previous in life, that really taught you something. What was your biggest failure and your biggest learning point?
Well, it's kind of what I was mentioning before. In construction, you have to be very organized.
Mhm.
Mind you that I started, at an early age, like I said before, in my early 20s. Maturity counts a lot. To being able to be mature at an early age, um, will make your job a lot easier. And when I say mature, it is, you get a contract for X amount of money, and you're happy. You're thinking
Mhm.
at that age, all right, that's the money you're gonna make, and so forth. And then you start spending before you even started.
Right.
You get tempted, and that's and being able to not be organized. That was actually one of my biggest learning. I remember doing a job for a big construction company up in West Palm Beach, and I've learned that the owner was a good, at that time it's a good friend of mine. He he was extremely organized,
Mhm.
and that was a turning point for me to say, look, there's obviously, the quality is there. We're doing the right thing, but we're just not, myself. I'm not being organized. I try to fit everything, and everything be me.
Right.
Everything run by me, and sometimes you just can't. You gotta count on very reliable people, count on your subcontractors. It took years to be able to find good subcontractors,
Yeah.
good mechanical people, good plumbers. You have the headaches where they don't show up, they don't come, and that, and
Know
next
all
thing,
about that.
you're the person that gets everything, basically.
For
Mhm.
sure, for sure. So whether it's in construction or just something in the service field, if there was one piece of advice that you could share with the viewers that may be looking to do something similar to what you're doing, whether it's construction, floors, even service, landscaping, whatever, what would be the biggest
Mhm.
piece of advice you had for them?
If you love the field, do something that you love. Do something that you're going to be, happy doing it. That's number one thing that I believe. A lot of people go into what they do, for the money. A lot of people see other people say, oh, he's doing well, let me do what he's doing. But if you don't have the passion, you don't have the knowledge, and you don't have the desire of it, I will say, look for something that fix you and look for something that you're gonna love, and if you love what you do, like I said before, you're never gonna work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a
I
truth.
get that, especially in construction. I grew up in a construction family as well, and you're right. You have to be passionate about it to make a nice job.
For
If it's
sure.
just a job, you're just going to slap it together, and it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had the landscape company, it's the same thing. I mean, I've sold the business, but I'm still I drive around. I'm still looking at people's properties. Like, oh man, they could use an upgrade over there. Or they could do that.
I do that
Yeah.
all the time. I do that all the time. Everywhere I
Yeah.
go, whether it's a restaurant, a hotel, I'm like, all right, let me see what this thing.
So
But yeah, you're always looking at those
So
effects.
moving from that passion and you liked construction to making it a business, what like where did you get resources? Like how did you learn how to run it as a business? Give our viewers maybe some resources that you've tapped into, how to learn your craft, maybe not so much the construction craft, but to transition it to actually being a business.
Well, you got to be up to date. I always say that construction is kind of it's kind of like clothing style. It's
Hmm.
changing. It's always improving. There's always something new. And you have to maintain informed.
Yeah.
You have to maintain up to date. There is a lot of helpful seminars, construction seminars, construction events that are always going on, because if you're not up to date to newer technologies, to new finishes, to newer manufacture, newer carpentry, you're
Hmm.
you know you're always going to fall behind. And construction is always changing, it's always evolving, and they're trying to make everything more smart now. I remember, having a smart system in your home require you to have a 10 by 10 closet with bunch of low voltage panels, machines, in order for you to work a light on the remote control. Nowadays, you can do that everything from your phone.
Sure.
So being able to maintain and up to date and informed makes it a big difference, because sometimes you get clients that they want a smart house, they want
Hmm.
heated floors, they want no trims on the doors, and so forth, touch glass cabinetry, so
Right.
you got to make sure to offer those things, otherwise
Yeah. No,
Awesome.
you're right. Staying up to date and cutting edge is everything. So yeah,
Love
you're
it,
right.
love it. I'm going to switch up this question I had for you, because we talked about failures, we talked about some of the things you've overcome. I want to hear some success stories. Tell me, and I'm not looking for your real numbers or what I want ballpark. Tell me how where you started, what you end up doing your first year, and what you're doing ballpark now. I want to hear the growth. I want to hear the success. I want people to hear that with hard work and not giving up, and after failures and all that stuff like that, you can still win.
I mean, and there's gonna be so many bumps. There's gonna be. I remember you posted something, John, that success people would think is just an arrow going up, but there is that arrow just goes down, up, and it makes a scribble scrabble, and it goes up. That's truly what a success story is. Now, I remember a day that we had one job, and then we had another one, and then we said, all right, good. We have two jobs going on at the same time. Oh my God, if everything can be as good as this, we'll be good. Now we maintain anywhere from 15 to 20 jobs going on at the same time. Big remodels for Hollywood producers down at the Icon Bay. We've worked and we've done restaurants such as Texas de Brazil and South Beach, a 40,000 square feet restaurant. Football players, soccer players, actors, and I've always looked down to I always looked to the side and always said, other contractors that I knew or other construction companies, and I said, how come they're doing good, as back then. But
Mhm.
you said, everything comes with time, everything comes with hard work, and everything comes with being persistent on what you do. And if you have those things, for sure, and in this industry you'll get it. Because there's a lot of
Sure.
competition, but you got
For
to know
sure.
how to differentiate yourself from the pack, because everybody's doing something like
That's
everybody.
it.
Right.
That's
Chris,
it.
before you ask your next question, I heard a rumor, and I need you to confirm or deny this, that you've been in business now for almost 15, 16 years, maybe a little bit longer,
Yep.
and you have not spent $1 on advertising. Is that correct?
$0.
And you
No.
know what that says? You do good work, right?
Yes, yes.
Love
We've
it.
That's it.
we've $0. We haven't spent anything. Everything came word of mouth. Everything came, just from referral to referral. And being honest and being, it's hard to find an honest contractor out there. I mean,
Yep.
out of the 20 jobs that we get, I will say a good more than half. It's because a contractor got fired. They either didn't know what they were doing. They either took the money, or they either just walked out. So I hear the stories all the time, all the time.
Wow.
So it's very tough, and it's actually something that out there, just for the viewers itself,
Sure.
to check on your contractors, check on the construction company that's doing your work, make sure that they can deliver what they say they can deliver. That one of the things, and this is very important, is that the company that you hire, it's licensed. It's
Mhm.
that tells you a lot. If they're licensed, you have to maintain. Every year you gotta go to classes, do construction hours,
Yep.
and making sure the code changes. Building code, especially in Florida, changes a lot. So you got to maintain those things. And
Awesome.
search.
That's amazing. I mean, that really does, speak to your honesty, like you said. And it's something that John and I talk about in whatever business you're going to be in, being a real person, showing up, being honest. I mean, that just, that can change
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. I mean, things happen in construction. I mean, and I think in every field, we come across all the time about, there's obviously, there's a wish list,
Oh, yeah.
and going back a little bit, one of the questions that you guys have asked, there's always a wish list of that a client, I want this, I want that, I want this, but sometimes, um, some of those wish lists cannot get accomplished, and
Yeah.
that's the part where you as a contractor got to be able to tell the client or the customer, look, you cannot do this because this and that, and the code says this, the code says that, because
Sure.
at the end of the day you're trying to sell your home, and you did an efficiency in your garage, and permits were not pulled, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
No
sure.
good. No
yeah,
good.
no
So
good.
if there was, thinking about your entrepreneurial journey, going back, like whatever John said, 17 years, 18 years, um, of your whole journey and giving advice to young folks that may be watching this, was there any questions that we didn't ask you, or was there anything you'd like to leave, that advice wise to people that are watching, and following your journey?
The advice I would give young people is, with with hard work comes great rewards at the end. Making sure that in honesty and work hard,
Mhm.
and like, again, I repeat it again. It's and loving what you do, you'll have great rewards. It's a formula that will not fail, and be ready for the tough experiences. Being an entrepreneur and having your own business. Doesn't mean that it's all great and dandy and everything.
Right.
The sun will always shine all the time. And I mean, the weather
Yeah.
will get cloudy, will get rough, and you gotta be prepared for that. You gotta be prepared to take up on your own responsibilities as well. And
Absolutely. Love
and
it. Love it.
go ahead.
So we have a signature question,
Mhm.
and we ask it to everybody, and it really goes hand in hand with our channel here. Jose, what does time freedom mean to you?
Freedom, time freedom means to me that I'm able to enjoy any time now, and whether whatever time of the day is, enjoy it with my family,
Mhm.
and I give an example today. Kids had the day off from school, and we got delivered some good prime rib, and the kids were like, Daddy, can you come home early and cook it for me? I'll be home soon.
Don't twist my arm.
And be able to do that, and that to me is time freedom. Enjoy my family, enjoy my kids, and it was never easy before, but now it's something that I can do, and if I want to, I can stay in bed, but I choose not to.
Right. We
I like
don't, but
But that's what it is, man. Right? It's a choice.
it's yeah
It's
choice.
the choice, and it's a choice you can make.
Exactly. That's what it is. It boils
Love
down
it. Love it, man. Look, I thoroughly enjoyed this interview. It's really great hearing from people from just different walks of life, different career paths, and just hearing. It's a similar story, right, Chris? I mean, we're
Yep.
hearing the
is.
struggle, we're hearing the failures, we're hearing the successes, we're hearing
Yep.
love what you do, have passion for it. And I think everybody we've had on for an interview so far has had passion for what they do, and I think that is the key to attaining what we're all looking for, is that time freedom, that financial stability.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed our time tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jose. That was great.
Thank you guys for having me anytime.
Excellent,
Absolutely.
excellent. All right, man. So we're going to say goodbye to you, and we're going to chat for a minute or so, but we'll see you a little bit later. And thanks again for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Thanks again. Yeah, you know what? I mean, we hear from so many of these people that the being real, showing up, being consistent, helping other people, even like what Jose said, helping your clients, helping and finding really good subcontractors and sticking with them. You all rise.
Absolutely. I've seen this journey, basically the entire time, and it's been, we talk about it all the time. We're at family events and stuff like that, and it really is. We feed off each other's successes, and it's exciting to have someone like that I can bounce ideas off of, and he can bounce ideas off of me, and still enjoy a steak and a beer. So we are real people. We came.
Yeah.
We're not professional speakers here. I mean, we're trying to be, but we play one on TV. But
There you go.
I mean, we're all just going along here, and I absolutely love this channel. I love what we're doing here,
Mhm.
and I'm excited to be here, and I'm excied to talk every day to whoever listens. Whoever
Right.
listens,
I agree. I
And,
agree. And a lot of these stories, it does kind of show you that there's very few overnight successes. And I think, like Jose would agree with that it's hard work. It's sticking with it. And I hope the young folks that watch us, it's great to go for those moonshots, and you're going to hear about the Dogecoin millionaires. But the reality of it is that's few and far between. You can't bet on that happening. But, if you put in the work and you show up, you be a real person and you help enough people, you'll get there.
Absolutely.
Whatever your passion is.
For sure. And forever, anybody out here in South Florida that's looking for a quality job, a quality remodeling, whatever you want, reach out to Jose at Vista Verde Remodeling. We're going to try to get that link to his website in our description down below. And please remember to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Share this video. Please do that. And, it really helps us out. We're building this channel. We want to get our message out and help as many people as we can. I know people need this information, and we need people to see it.
Absolutely. That's part of it. But, that was great. I really appreciate that.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, folks. Well, have a great night. Chris, I know you're going to Vegas, and I wish you a safe travels, and we'll catch you when we get back, man.
All right. Sounds good. See you guys.